capital of the world, it's the Joe Cortez Show.
Well, welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment capital of the world. And we have today with us a special guest, Jackie Nunez. Jackie Nunez, welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you, Joe?
Great. How was our trip to Las Vegas?
Oh, it was great. Nice ride here.
Piece of cake, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Well, today we have a special guest on the show named Tony Testa. Tony Testa is from the original group, the Duprees. Tony Testa brings a lot of history, a lot of talent, a lot of joy, and great memories from his group of famous songs that we all remember so much. Tony, how you doing, buddy? Is Tony on the line with us? There we go. Tony, hey, guess at each.
Nice to see Jackie too.
Hi, Tony. How are you?
Hi, honey.
Okay, Tony, you're one of my idols from the past until to the present. We're going to be watching you here in Las Vegas this coming weekend here at the South Point Hotel. And it's an honor to have you on the show today.
As I said, it's an honor to be with you. You are a living legend, so it's my pleasure. We are so looking forward to the South Point. I think I was saying to you or maybe Jackie yesterday that in all the years that the Duprees have been around, we've never been able to perform in Vegas. And it's mainly because the group just historically has been more famous or popular, let's say, in the Northeast, the New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, tri-state area, that the group never really had to wander out west. We do still occasionally go to California and other places, but Vegas was always on our list of places that we really love to go, and now it's going to happen.
Well, you know, I'm glad that you're going to be out here because the fans out here are going to get a taste of what real music from the golden era was of the Duprees. And once you hit the scene out here in Vegas, you don't want to go back. And the fans want to say, we want more of the Duprees, especially with your talent and your voice and your experience in the music. They want to have people like you out here.
Well, if it's any indication, all the emails that we've gotten recently have been over the top. People who are a lot of transplanted New Yorkers, New Jerseyans, and just people from all over the country who are now settled down in Las Vegas and haven't had the chance in recent years to see us, are coming out to see us, and it's just been overwhelming. And it's because of what you just said, Joe. I think the music of our generation, my generation, the late 50s, early 60s,
right,
the rock and roll generation is something that just defies logic as far as going away. Every other generational music, you want to talk about the 30s or the 40s, or later on, the 80s or 90s, the music has not had the same popularity or appeal.
right.
But like You Belong to Me is almost going to be 60 years old in a few years.
Well, let me tell you one thing, Tony. Your music of the 60s is music that people will never forget. Like they say, rock and roll will never die. You know, I mean, you were in that category, the oldies but goodies. I mean, it's just fantastic to still have you guys around. Give us that tone that we want to hear in our ear, the beautiful a cappella and the harmony with you guys. It's just the best.
It is the best. And we get asked all the time, what's your favorite song to sing? And honestly, they're all so incredibly wonderful to sing because as you know, the harmonies are a little bit special. They're not street corner harmonies. They're the songs that really came from the 30s and 40s, the big band era, Joni James, Joe Stafford, Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole. And when we sing them, they're so interesting to sing that we never get tired of it. And the other reason I think they are appealing to people is because you can understand the words and you can relate to it. Not to be disparaging about today's music, but it's so, the way that people have to record nowadays, everything is so controlled and pitch correction and this, that, and the other thing. It comes out so clinical and so pure that it doesn't have any emotion left in it. Not for all of them, but for most of the music.
I know Jackie has a lot of questions she wants to ask you. So, Jackie, take the floor.
Hey, Tony. We call Tony Testa, Mr. Personality. He is the personality of the group. Each member has their own taste, their own style. What I like about the Duprees is that they take every classic song, make it their own. Mm-hmm. They even do some great 4-part harmonies. Tony, I know you've been with the group for obviously a very long time, and you know the issues about the originals and not originals.
Sure.
You played with the originals, so tell us about your experience. I know you've also dealt with Michael Arnone, and give us a description about that.
You know, it's nothing you could have planned or back then. I never would have realized I would be in the position I'm in now. As you said, I joined the group in the mid '60s as a guitar player. I had my own group at the same time, and I used to work alongside the Duprees many times. So they would call me to be their kind of musical director on some other dates that my own personal group was not performing. So I got to meet them all intimately. The only member I did not know at the time was Joey Canzano, the original lead singer. Of course, he left the group in 1964. Just had to follow a solo career. But I knew all the other guys intimately, and they were just incredible on stage, just incredible. And I got to love them, especially Michael Arnone. The others have passed on. The fourth member, John Salvato, is still alive and well and doing well. He started the business many years ago. But ever since Michael was over, it's been a joy for me to do what I'm doing.
You know, Tony, it's an honor that, knowing you and coming to Las Vegas is like a dream come true for me. I never got to see you guys in person. I've heard your music from day one when you guys came out back in the 60s. But to be here this coming weekend, watching you in person and listening to the harmony, the great voice that you guys have, the talent you bring here to the Las Vegas is going to be something that I'm going to have to pinch myself to say I'm here with you guys in person, because you guys are definitely one of my favorite groups of all times.
Well, I think what I've attempted to do with the group, especially over the last 25 years at least, is make it more acceptable or appealing to a broader sense, a broader audience. And in that, we don't.
I think we lost connection.
Okay, so Tony, we're having a little technical difficulty right now. So Jackie, I'll just ask you a couple of questions. Now, the Duprees, you've known them from way back in the days when they first started out. Now they're coming here to Las Vegas. You're here in Las Vegas for the first time yourself. What memories do you have of this group when you were helping them out back in the days?
Well, actually, I followed them for about a good 10 years, maybe more. They've restructured from the original group, and they've taken a lot of the classics. They've created their own sound, their own harmonies. They're phenomenal. Each member brings something to the table. Like Phil Granito, for example, will do like a whole medley on Jackie Wilson. He's got a lot of soul in his voice. And Tommy Patillo, like a crooner, but he has so much feeling in his songs. Every song he sings, the interpretations, you're convinced of his singing. You can feel it, right, Tony?
Oh, you're absolutely right. I've ever since you're using your words, restructured. I didn't actually restructure. It's kind of like I brought out everybody's talent, and each one of the other guys is so unique that when we shift from the Duprees songs, Tommy Patillo sings all of the beautiful love songs, and some other specialty songs. But then, as you said, when Phil does the medley of songs of Jackie Wilson, or Jimmy does some Bobby Darin songs, or I'm doing my usual shtick, I think it's become a very, very entertaining show, as well as a show that displays vocal harmonies and those beautiful love songs.
Tony, talking
It's
about
kind of-
harmony, which is one of your favorite songs that you lead?
That I lead?
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, as you can tell from my voice, I'm Mr. Gravelly. I don't have what's called a typical lead singer voice, but I do some, what you might call novelty songs. I'll sing like Volare or Just a Gigolo and stuff like that.
Give me a little couple of notes on that.
Which one?
Just the gigolo.
I do
It's a,
I'll sing the big Volare.
go ahead.
Enzo Gonzalez, non ritorni mai più. I can't do any more, or else Jackie will fall over.
Come on, I was ready to do some doo-wops with you there, man. I'm ready to get down with you.
Okay, you want to chime in with me?
Yes,
I'll
go
do the
ahead.
first note.
Go ahead.
Shut up and show it oh. Shut up and show it oh.
Shut up and shove it all. In the still of the night, I held you, okay? Held you tight. I'm not going to hold you tight. Go ahead.
Yes, you cannot be in the Duprees. First of all, you're too good looking. Okay? And you're tall.
I tell you, you're unbelievable. I'm so dying to see you. I want to give you a big hug when I see you. You're definitely one of my heroes, man.
Tony,
You're so,
tell us about the East Coast Music Hall of Fame, which you are on the board.
yeah, this is actually the brainchild of Tommy Patillo, our lead singer. There's obviously the what do you call it? The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio. That's been very famous for so many years. But incredibly, people like Johnny Maestro, Chubby Checker, Bobby Rydell are not in that Hall of Fame. So he started the East Coast Music Hall of Fame, and it's based on different performers that from Maine to Florida who are deserving of recognition, and it's been a huge success. If you just go on, if people want to know more about it, they can go to eastcoastmusichallofFame.com and find out everything about it. But I'm very proud of him. I'm proud of being on the board because we're doing wonderful things.
Now, are you going to be doing any tours in the near future?
Well, when you say tours, as I mentioned earlier, our main home base is New Jersey, Tri-State New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. And we've been blessed with the ability to go to all of our engagements within commuting distance, get in our car and travel an hour and a half, or even 2 hours, and then come back home. And every once in a while, go.
I want to see you guys travel around the world. I want the people to know who the Duprees are. Not only here in the States, you guys got worldwide talent. People want to hear those beautiful voices.
Okay, you are now my official agent.
I don't know. I just love you guys, and I think that you guys deserve to be known around the world. Everybody got to know who the Duprees are. After this show's here in Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, people are going to say, we never heard of the Duprees, but we want them back now forever.
Tony, is there any other genre of music you guys would like to do and haven't done?
No salsa, all doo-wop stuff.
Actually, do a couple of things. That's the way we do, towards the end of our show, we do the great Lionel Richie song, All Night Long.
All night
But
long.
the way we do it has almost more of a Latin feel than the original feel. And especially, Joe, I think you're going to like this. I think you're really going to like it.
Yeah? Well, kind of.
You're going to get it.
We saw
I don't
it.
want to get up.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What is it? Go ahead. What? You
All
gonna,
night.
Oh, no.
go ahead, buddy.
You got to come to the show.
Okay, we're going to see you on the show. We're
Exactly.
definitely going to do it on the show because I may get up there with you guys and try to maybe hand you the mic, and that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a great personality, and as I said, you're a living legend to me. I mean, I've followed your career, and it's been incredible. I mean, you haven't stayed in one spot. You diversified, my friend. I like that.
I got to move around. I can't stay still. You know, at my age, if I stop, it's like George Foreman. When I used to referee his fights and he was in the ring, he'd go back to his corner. They had the stool there for him to sit down, and he don't want to sit down. And because
Yeah.
he says, Joe, I'm getting so old, I'm afraid to sit down. Can't get back up for the next round. So that's why he stands up. That's like me. I got to keep moving because if I stop, I'm going to drop.
Yeah. I love my favorite question. I get asked all the time because, as we said earlier, we share the same age. I'm 75. People in recent years say, Tony, so when are you going to retire? And I say, retire?
Retire.
Retire? Why would you retire from something you love to do? If as long as God blesses me with air in my lungs and blood flowing through my heart and the ability to stand up,
Exactly.
the guys are going to keep doing it.
Exactly. We got a friend out here, Steve Dunham, who's living in Vegas here for the last 28 years, and he loves it here. He's also a New Yorker and been out here. He says, Joe, I don't want to go any place else. Las Vegas is the place to be. Like, look at today. It's 78 degrees out here. You can't beat it.
Tony,
Wow.
I got a trivial question for you. The song You Belong to Me, as you know, that Joe Stafford did, and when she did it, it was 13 weeks on number one in 1952. Who was the song really written for?
I forget her name, but it was a country and western singer.
Yes.
A female. Her name is escaping me
Sue
right now.
Thompson.
Sue Thompson, you got it.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, the history of the song itself is just incredible. Like, as you said, 13 years prior, Joe Stafford had the hit, and then it was that beautiful brilliance of the producers of Co-Ed Records to say, let's take these street corner guys, 17, 18-year-olds from Jersey City, and put that beautiful Glenn Miller sound behind them, which hadn't been done before. And that was the magical kind of collaboration that made You Belong to Me, and then the ones that followed, My Own True Love, Have You Heard, Why Don't You Believe Me, and the rest.
Those are great songs, I'll tell you. Just mentioning those names of those songs brings back great memories. Tony, a question. Now, how many albums or songs have you recorded?
Oh, goodness. Over the years, well, for different reasons, we weren't permitted to record a lot of the things that we've done in the past 20. In the past 20 years, we've recorded so many different CDs that are kind of indicative of a couple of things. A couple of the CDs are throwbacks, where, like, for instance, one CD is called As Time Goes By, of which that's one of the songs.
Right.
But it's a collection of songs that come from the 40s and the 50s with the big band sound, and that was terrific to do. And then we have a CD called The Duprees Go to the Movies, where we did wonderful themes and beautiful love songs from some of the famous motion pictures of all time. One of our favorites is a CD called Great Songs of Our Time. And this was a challenge, and I mentioned this in our show, where we wanted to take some of the great performances, some of the great love songs that were done by different artists and turn them into Duprees songs, because, the Duprees harmonies are very distinctive.
Right.
And one song that we feature almost in every show is For Your Love, that great Ed Townsend song. And we don't sing it like Ed Townsend, because I don't think anybody could, but we do it like the Duprees would. And it's been a showstopper. Great song.
It is a beautiful song. One of my favorites, of course.
Yeah, it is. It's a perennial song.
They've taken a Frank Sinatra song and did a 4-part harmony to it. Their interpretation was great.
That's my personal favorite. Most recent one was to commemorate Frank Sinatra's what would have been his 100th birthday.
Wow.
And Joe and Jackie, there have been so many recordings by so many different artists of Sinatra arrangements, but never before in 4-part harmony. So we selected, not all songs of Sinatra are conducive to 4-part harmony. Like you couldn't do My Way or something like that, or New York, New York. But some of the other ones are very conducive, and we feature them in the show too. You Make Me Feel So Young,
Right.
or Witchcraft. And we do it in 4-part harmony, which, again, I'm very proud of because it's never been done before.
That's what I tell you, these songs that you're talking about bring back great memory. I can always tell you that when you say New York, New York, that song was one of my favorite. But because I always say, New York, New York, so nice, they named it twice. And of course, the music that goes with it is just superb.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Tony,
Yeah.
as far as the legalities are concerned, you know that they always said you have to have at least one original, but you also obtained the name legally. How did you pull that
yeah.
off?
Well, it's nothing I pulled off. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for the blessings of Michael Arnone, who he passed away in 2005. He was the last one to pass away. I made a vow to him that I would keep the music pristine to the way the songs were originally recorded, and I would keep the legacy and the legend of the original members. We never go on stage without acknowledging those who came before us, because I think people, and I've done this for many years, Jackie, you know this. I mentioned on stage the original members and how if it wasn't for their efforts, we wouldn't be able to be doing what we're doing now. As far as the legalities go, oh yes, I performed with the original members. Tommy Patillo, our lead singer, has the distinction of being the last lead singer with the original group back in the 70s. So we all have lineage and a great evolution with the group. But in addition to that, the legalities really come before, because I was able to secure the exclusive license from Michael Arnone's children, who own the name of the group. And the children, I say they're children, I knew them when they were all very young kids. And now obviously they're all grown up. But we've had a fantastic relationship, and they entrusted me, just as Michael did, with keeping as I said, the legend and the legacy going. And it's been a labor of love, really has.
Tony, now that you're at the age of 75, a lot of people say, well, maybe Tony will move out to the Bahamas, go out to the coconut tree, have some margaritas, and just relax, have the margaritas. Do you still see your future, the 10 years down the line, still on that stage performing to that audience, especially here in Las Vegas? I mean, once you come here, Tony, you don't want to leave. Just like Jackie, she's here in Las Vegas, just like Steve, my friend Steve Dunham. He loves it here. You know, there's so much to do with Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, and now, of course, is known also as the sports capital of the world, because we got all the sports teams here, the Raiders, the Golden Knights, you got the WNBA, and we have all kinds of sport, boxing, of course. Now, the music has always been here. But I like to see you guys create a show here that's an ongoing, not just for the weekend, but long term. So AJ's out there watching. I hope you can be there to watch this group and get them lined up, because this is the kind of group we want. And my friend Steve Dunham, he's going to make sure that we can make things happen like that here as well.
That would be wonderful. And, you know, as you mentioned again, for the third time that I'm 75 years old, thank you for pointing that out.
Did I say 75? I said 27.
You know what? I think you're as old or as young as you feel or want to feel, and something comes upon you when you step on a stage. Your age or your disabilities or whatever just seem to float away. They float away because you have a higher purpose once you step on that stage, and that is to entertain. So as I said earlier, personally speaking, as long as God gives me the gift of health and talent to whatever extent, I'm going to enjoy myself and enjoy making people have a good time. As far as Las Vegas is concerned, I don't think it's really a perspective of how old the group is. I think it's really a perspective of how they entertain and who
Right.
they entertain and who they reach out to. And that's our challenge. And I think we're up to the challenge.
You see Tony Bennett. The man is still here, performs in Las Vegas. Unbelievable. The talent, the voice, he still's got it. Just like you guys. You guys got a little spark of the old flash. There's no question about it. You guys are definitely going to be around for a long time. But I want to get to the younger generation to kind of understand the music of the 60s. Try to bring it back a little bit. Maybe we should mix a little bit of that rap music with some of the a cappella stuff or bring it together and maybe get all these younger folks to come on board.
Well, there's a niche for everybody, and every generation of kids grows up to their own genre of music, and that's fine. We did it too back when rock and roll. Our parents were saying, "Don't listen to that music; it's terrible." So I'm fine with that. I think as an entertainer, you have to kind of disregard that and go ahead with your own talent and reach out to as many people as you can with true talent. The rest will take care of itself.
You were on a Latin show, a Latin TV show in Florida. It was in Miami. Is there anything in the future to do something in Spanish?
I don't know about doing it in Spanish, but that producer at the time flew us down there. It was a wonderful experience. And he was in touch with us recently. He wanted to keep it going. I said, maybe I'll sing my only Spanish song, Pensar en Ti.
Aunque tú no me quieras, yo te sigo queriendo. Do it in Spanish. Why not?
That's not it. Pensar en ti, tan solo me hace sentir que siempre te di en realidad. En vez de amor, sufrí.
I love it. Yeah, you got good in Spanish. Why not? And you know what?
Learned that
You learned that where? In high school?
No, in Puerto Rico.
Oh, in Puerto Rico. What were you doing out there?
I heard a singer named Che Feliciano sing it.
Cheo Feliciano. Aunque tú no me quieras, yo te sigo queriendo. Son en vanos mis penas si sufro yo por ti. Right? Your buddy, Cheo Feliciano.
Yeah, that's a beautiful baritone voice. You got that, pal.
Hip dum bop do. Oh man, hey, I don't want to steal your show. You're the guy, you're the star, you're the one we're waiting to see here in Las Vegas this coming weekend at the South Point. Jackie?
Well, thank you, Tony. By the way, I know I wanted like a very brief description of each member of the group.
Sure. It's a pleasure, and they're wonderful guys and terrific entertainers. Tommy Patillo has pure, beautiful lead singing voice, and as I said, he has a history of being the last lead singer with the original members. And he's very talented. He's very good with harmony, too. Jimmy Spinelli is what I call the perfect second tenor. As far as our harmony is concerned, a second tenor in a vocal group is the most important because everything surrounding it is dependent on him being on perfect pitch. And I've been around a long time and nobody sings second tenor like Jimmy Spinelli. In addition to that, he does dynamic performances on some Bobby Darin songs, dances, and just sweeps people off their feet. And as we mentioned, Phil Granito is
So
I can't figure him out. I've known him for 35 years. And every time he does that Jackie Wilson medley, I say to this day, he's not doing a Jackie Wilson medley. He's doing a Phil Granito medley because he makes it totally his own with his energy. I can't even describe it, Joe. You got to see this man perform.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Tony,
Mr.
I can tell
Personality, Tony.
Yeah, Tony, I can tell you that I'm dying to see you this weekend. We got to wrap it up right now. But thank you for being on the show with us. I hope to see you this weekend. God bless you. Stay well and keep that tone, keep that nice, oily. Put that. I want the rust in that voice. Make it the best. See you Saturday night.
Take care.
Take care.